In a bold move that has the potential to reshape the political landscape, Governor Gavin Newsom has urged California lawmakers to support a special election this November. This election would enable the state to redraw its congressional map, a strategic response to the Republican-led redistricting efforts currently underway in Texas and other states. Dubbed the Election Rigging Response Act, Newsom's initiative aims to empower California Democrats to bypass the independent commission responsible for the state's map drawing process. This would allow them to create new congressional districts that could significantly benefit their party's representation. The backdrop to this proposal is the aggressive redistricting strategy being pursued by Texas Republicans, who, with the endorsement of former President Donald Trump, are working on a congressional map that could potentially add 5 more House seats to their ranks. Newsom articulated the urgency of the situation, stating, "It's not complicated. We are doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, 'Find me 5 seats.'" He emphasized that this initiative is not just a political maneuver, but a commitment to uphold democratic values and model better governance, a principle California has adhered to for the past 15 years through its independent redistricting commission. However, he acknowledged that in the face of such aggressive tactics, California cannot afford to remain passive. For this plan to materialize, California Democrats will need to secure approval from their colleagues in the legislature, and time is of the essence. They must act swiftly to place this measure on the ballot for the upcoming November 4th election. If successful, the new congressional maps could be implemented in time for the 2026 midterm elections, potentially altering the balance of power in Congress. At a rally in Los Angeles, several Democratic leaders joined Newsom, framing their redistricting efforts as a necessary counteraction to Trump and his administration's policies. Sarah Sadwani, a member of California's Redistricting Commission, raised concerns about the presence of Border Patrol agents at the event, suggesting that their actions were indicative of a troubling trend towards increased law enforcement presence in communities. She remarked, "We are watching executive overreach that is no doubt making our founding fathers turn over in their graves." In response to the criticism regarding the Border Patrol's involvement, Tricia McLaughlin, a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security, defended their operations, stating, "Our law enforcement operations are about enforcing the law, not about Gavin Newsom." She highlighted that Customs and Border Protection, CBP, routinely patrols various areas of Los Angeles to ensure safety. California's initiative is part of a broader national back and forth between states led by Republicans and Democrats, each reacting to the other's redistricting strategies. Just last month, following Trump's public encouragement, Texas Governor Greg Abbott convened a special session of the GOP-controlled legislature to consider a mid-decade redrawing of congressional maps, a process typically reserved for once every 10 years. After the rally, Newsom informed reporters that the California legislature would kick off the redistricting effort with a series of bills. He expressed confidence that the legislature would act quickly, aiming to finalize the necessary legislation by the end of the following week. He also indicated that the proposed maps would be revealed soon, with the expectation that they would effectively counteract the Republican efforts in Texas. Currently, Democrats hold 43 out of California's 52 congressional districts. Newsom pointed out that if red states chose not to pursue redistricting, California's actions would be unnecessary. However, he firmly stated, "We're not waiting." In a recent interview, Trump claimed that Republicans in Texas are entitled to 5 more seats, underscoring the stakes involved. With Republicans already controlling 25 of Texas's 38 congressional seats, and Trump having won 27 of those in the last presidential election, the implications of the new maps could be significant. If implemented, the Republican-drawn maps could result in 30 of those seats having voted for Trump. Wake up, America! Wake up to what Donald Trump is doing! Newsom urged during the rally. Wake up to his assault. Wake up to the assault on institutions and knowledge and history. In Texas, the Republican push for redistricting has led to a dramatic response from state House Democrats, who fled the state to deny Republicans a quorum necessary for legislative action. For nearly 2 weeks, these Democrats have engaged in numerous interviews and press conferences to denounce the GOP's redistricting plan, calling on Democratic governors nationwide to take similar actions to protect their own congressional maps. Newsom has been particularly vocal, warning that he would advocate for redrawing California's maps if Republicans in other states did not back down, while also consistently challenging Trump through interviews and social media. Meanwhile, Texas Democrats are reportedly nearing the end of their protest. Texas House Democratic Caucus Chair Jean Wu stated that 2 conditions must be met for lawmakers to return: the conclusion of the current special session by Texas Republicans and the introduction of new congressional maps by California Democrats. When the legislature adjourns sine die and California introduces its maps, we will return to the House floor and to the courthouse with a clear message. The fight to protect voting rights has only just begun, Wu declared. While Republican-led states can often push through redistricting with relative ease, requiring only approval from their majority legislatures and governors, the process in many Democratic states, including California, is considerably more complex. California's plan necessitates both legislative approval and a subsequent vote from the public. In New York, the situation is even more challenging, as a proposed constitutional amendment must pass through 2 consecutive legislative sessions and then be approved by voters in a ballot measure the following year. This lengthy process means that even if Democrats succeed, any changes to the maps may not take effect until the 2028 elections at the earliest. In a recent twist, Newsom has adopted a new public relations strategy in his ongoing exchanges with the White House. Through a series of posts on social media, he has taken to mocking Trump's distinctive communication style, aiming to draw attention to his own initiatives. One post declared, "Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic, as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems and Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor. That will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter." As the political landscape continues to evolve, the question remains: will California's efforts to redraw its congressional map succeed in countering the Republican strategies in Texas and beyond? What are your thoughts on this contentious issue? Do you believe that such redistricting efforts are justified, or do they undermine the integrity of the electoral process? Share your opinions in the comments.